Arsenal fans, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think within the next 6 to 12 months, Arsenal need to bring in another inside forward or better yet winger? I mean, Raheem Sterling at 29 years of age, turning 30, is not a long-term solution, and he has also only been signed on loan. Gabriel Jesus, who provides versatility across a number of positions, mainly out wide, could be sold. Trossard is also 28 to 29. Martinelli is the first choice on that left-hand side, but his performances, while have turned the corner, don't provide the level of consistency of a Bukayo Saka, and they're quite volatile. Now, when we look at previous wingers that we've been linked with, or quote-unquote targets people, we've been linked with several names, to name a few: Anthony Gordon, Nico Williams, Aderinga, Kudus, household names or quote-unquote popular names in European football, in addition to a number of others which we would all probably love as additions at Arsenal Football Club. While Arsenal may or may not have money and things of that ilk, would it be fair to say that some of these names I've mentioned and ones that I haven't could prove to be somewhat expensive? What if we attempted to outsmart the market like Brighton do and find emerging targets? Ironically, recent reports have claimed, in addition to Brighton, Manchester United, Celtic, Ajax and Wolves, Arsenal have joined the race to sign Toure from a Swedish club called Harambe. Forgive me for mispronunciations. The 18-year-old Ivory Coast under-20 international, aka Ivorian, has been starting to make a name for himself in Scandinavia. You know, I would describe him as a red hot winger. He's valued at around 5 million and has made, as I said, a huge impression in Sweden since he moved to Scandinavia in March from ASEC Mimosas in his homeland, which is a club that did we not used to do deals with them and sign several Ivorians for the football club. You could describe him as jet-heeled, the ability to play on either flanks, although probably stronger off the left. He already has 3 assists and 6 goals so far this season, which again reflects him making a swift transition from African football into Europe in some capacity. When you look at his current employers, the average age of their squad is 24 years of age, which shows he's starring and being a leader really in a young sort of side. The versatile winger has eye-catching speed, can play off either flanked, you know, very good 1v1, and has the raw capabilities that could be polished and molded into a player of tomorrow. He has so far this season amassed 1,158 minutes of league action. Of course, he's a rough diamond, and when you look at certain things, let's start off with his passing. Of course, his successful passes, his passing accuracy, while they're not bad, they could be a lot better. He scores quite high for chances created, successful crosses, although his cross accuracy could be improved. Now, he's an 18-year-old. I expect to see this. In possession, he's been dispossessed, 22 times, I believe, which could improve really, or is quite good depending on how you look at it. He scores quite high for touches in the up box, successful dribbles, and also fouls won, which shows he is exactly what we're looking for on paper. Of course, experience goes against him. He doesn't have such. Again, it's all fun and games contributing in the final third, but for a Mikel Arteta system or in the modern day, you have to be able to put in a shift defensively. And where you look at tackles won, duel percentages won, aerial duels won, as well as recoveries, possession won in the final third, he also scores quite high, which shows he's able to contribute in all phases of play. And again, him being 18 years of age means he is impressionable and somebody that could be crafted by Mikel Arteta to get even better. Now, for me, people, at 18 years of age, he's had an incredible start to the season so far. Does not surprise me where you look at some of the clips available while he's drawing interest, and allegedly there's been several scouts checking what the hype's about. As I said earlier, 6 goals and 3 assists in 16 appearances for someone who, you know, a matter of months ago just made the jump from Africa to Sweden. He's doing quite well. And at 18 years of age, there's not necessarily a rush to depart his current employers, but he is improving. And again, I can't say it wouldn't be a gamble, because whether you sign a player for 3 or 100 million, essentially they are a gamble. But in today's day and age, 5 million would be a low risk gamble for a developing talent that could be an asset in the short, medium and long term to Arsenal Football Club within their first team, or that 5 million could potentially turn into 15, 25, 35, 45, etc., and he could be sold on. I mean, let's face it, you know, for 5 million, I'd rather take a chance on this than when we spent 3 million on Marquinhos, who, yeah, I know a lot of you forgot he was at Arsenal Football Club. Again, he's still inexperienced, so there'll be question marks as to whether he can actually make the step up to the Premier League, especially if he was to join in January. What sort of level is he at? How much game time would he get? The main thing would be consistency, which he's showing in Sweden, but consistency in the Premier League. He would have to be given that scope to develop. You look at someone like Aderinga of Brighton, he went on a loan spell before he made it, you know, and doing what he's doing at Brighton at this moment. But I have to say, people, you know, from 16 appearances, he's doing quite well. Still not capped at full international level, but is capped at under 20 level. He is doing quite well. I like what I see on the eyes. I like what the data tells me. It shows me there that he's a rough diamond. And as we know, of course, there's been some exceptions to the rule, but generally we have been looking to sign the stars of tomorrow and craft them in Arsenal and Mikel Arteta's image and ensure they get better and better. Now, we have two options. We either go for the household names, as stated earlier, or we look to outsmart the market and find lesser names. Martinelli was a form of outsmarting the market. Did we not sign him for 6 million quid? And if we was to sell him tomorrow, what would we get? And it's fair to say he's doing all right. And I'd also say, regardless of what you have to say about these football clubs, Manchester United's recruitment's been terrible, really. But if Manchester United, Wolves, Celtic, Brighton, Ajax and Arsenal are all monitoring you, probably a bunch of other clubs, he must have something about him, people. Once again, naturally, he would be a development signing. He would need time to get up to speed. Many people would not potentially see him as that immediate impactor or game changer in the pursuit of trying to claim and win major honours, being the Champions League, the Premier League, or by God's grace, we win both or one of the two this year, and we're able to you know, retain it. But how many times have we seen people turn up their nose on these sort of players couple of years, and when they've been right next to you, right under your nose, when they become household names, they now got a 50+ million asking price, and everybody looks at them now, people. So I like what I like the look of him. I could see why people are scouting him. Scouting doesn't necessarily mean you're making a move, but I like the look of him. Of course, I'd rather go after a more established target, but I would not cry if Arsenal signed him tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Of course, people, most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.